I'm at Worcester right now. We're gonna do a power yoga class. So it's usually taught by Jeanette, so this isn't like the typical class. She is definitely more of a power teacher than me, so I'll do my best with it. I just want to make sure the community has classes to do at home. Hi, Kimberly. I see you. Renee is here with me again. She was here this morning. And I'm gonna wave to Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. Anyway, so Renee is here with me again tonight. She was here with me this morning. So the studio is open. We have just a limited number of spots to maintain social distancing. So I'm not mocking it, I'm just saying it's important. And if you're, we all have the same information. If you're compromised, if you feel like you'd rather stay home. I'm offering videos. If you want to come into the studio and you feel like you're okay to kind of be within 6-7 feet of the person next to you and practice with each other, then you can do that too. The option is yours. So we're gonna do flow. I want to just put this out there. This is a private community. This is only for our members. So if you have a membership, cool. This is a really hard time to own a small business. I've put it out there. If people buy the new student pass, they can join this community and get the videos at home. And then when they're ready to come into the studio, none of the passes become active until you actually come into the studio and take a class. So if you buy a pass now, it's just gonna sit in your little bank. It's gonna be in your account. I've offered some deals on some of the passes, so you can check it out if you want to and help support us. Anyway, let's get to power yoga. So power yoga, more fiery flow, more energizing. I'll stop talking and get into it. If you guys comment, if you can't hear me during class, if you can't see me, I'll check in periodically, just comment, let me know. Thanks. Okay. Oh, and the battery is charged, so we won't lose the phone like we did. We won't lose the video again, hopefully. Hopefully it'll all be good. Okay, boop. Let's go. I like your shirt.
Yeah.
Renee's shirt says, "The struggle is real." And it is today. Okie dokie. We're gonna get crack-a-lackin'. I see comments. What are the comments? Anything crazy? Have a great class. Thanks, Kimberly. Can you hear me? If you guys just comment if you can hear, that would be helpful. If you can't hear, then we'll fix it. Okay. All right, guys, so we're gonna start in child's pose. If you wanna come down into your child's pose, let's start with a nice wide child's pose tonight, just to open up our hips and begin to connect with our root chakra. You can take your knees out to the distance of the mat. Take the big toes together behind you and then let your hips sink back into your heels. Let your forehead come down to the mat. You might even massage your forehead on the mat, letting your third eye come down. You can roll your forehead side to side. Try to feel your spine becoming longer, more energized as you're rooting down into the forehead. Take a big breath in. As you breathe in, let your breath move through the vertebral column. Try to feel your breath pulling the spine. The crown of your head's being pulled forward. Tailbone is pressing back. Begin to walk your hands to the upper right corner of the mat. Cross your left arm over your right arm. Try to make your left side of the body just a little longer. Take a breath in and let your breath scoop through the left side. Walk your hands to the upper left corner. Cross your right arm over your left arm. Again, try to breathe into the right side. Push your right hip into your right heel. Walk your hands to center. Take your palms together in prayer mudra. Bend your elbows. Let your hands come back to touch your shoulders or the upper back. As you inhale, re-extend your arms. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Press yourself up to all fours. Come into your tabletop pose. Maybe you close your eyes as you come up. You can let your body rock or sway freely. Maybe you make barrel rolls with your hips, just imagining that you're drawing a circle on the wall behind you with your tailbone. And whenever you're ready, go right into your cat-cow. As you exhale, lift and round your spine. Try to think about lifting your spine to the sky. Let the space between the shoulder blades become wide. As you inhale, drop your spine down, lift up the tailbone, open up your chest. Exhale to a round spine. Move back and forth, linking breath to movements. With your next breath in, find a neutral spine. Step your right foot to your right thumb. Bring yourself into a lunge. Slide your left leg back so that you feel a stretch. You feel an opening through the left quadriceps muscle. Maybe you start to walk your hands up towards your right thigh. Try to pull back on your right hip crease and then let your hips push forward, sink low. Open up your chest. Maybe your arms come up to the sky. Think about lengthening your spine. As you exhale, let your hands come down. Extend your front leg, half split. Fold over the front leg, pull your toes back to your shins. Try to keep your spine long so that as you're folding over your front leg, you're imagining that you're peering over the edge of a pool. So you're sending energy forward and down at the same time. As you inhale, glide forward to your low lunge. If you have blocks at home, if you want to use your blocks, you can use blocks under your hands. Move freely between your half split and your low lunge. Maybe you close your eyes as you move to let your consciousness anchor itself inward. You're ready. As you inhale, let your front knee come forward. Heel toe your right foot to the edge of the mat for lizard pose. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Let the right hip abduct or let it roll away from the midline of your body. Continue to lengthen your tailbone down. As you inhale, open up your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Feel a sense of buoyancy or lift through your sternum and heart. You can stay here up on the hands, or you can start to lower yourself down to the forearms. Again, this is a good time to use your blocks if you have them, and if you don't have blocks at home, you can substitute books, maybe you use pillows, anything that will lift the height of the floor up for you and let you safely support your body weight. Try to surrender into the stretch. Try to connect to your root chakra. Think about opening the hips, connecting to your root, connecting to your foundation. Try to allow feelings of safety, of steadiness, of support to arise within you. Connect to your root chakra by lifting your pelvic floor. Begin to visualize a spiral of energy awakening at your roots. With your next breath in, stack your shoulders over the wrists if you're down and press yourself up. Pull your belly button in and up to your spine. Heel toe your right foot to the midline. Tuck your back toes under to lift up your back kneecap and push your left heel to the back of the studio. Your hands are framing your right foot. As you inhale, use the strength of your core. Step your right foot to meet your left foot in plank pose. Take a breath or two here in plank pose. Roll forward to the balls of your feet and then drive back through your heels. I see comments, so I'm just gonna take a break for a second. You guys keep yeah, stay in your plank. I wanna just make sure everybody is good. What's up, you all? Hi, Paula, again. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. All right. Let the backs of your legs awaken. Push back through your heels. Now, ease your body to stillness. Drive back through your heels Activate your legs by lifting up your kneecaps, fire your quadriceps. Tone up your midsection. The pelvic floor is lifted. Your navel is drawing in and up to your spine. We'll modify our first plank pose by letting our knees and shins come down to the mat. Keep your belly strong. Pull the belly towards your spine. Turn your gaze slightly forward as you exhale. Bend your elbows straight back. Keep your elbows tracking into the rib cage as you lower all the way down to the earth. Inhale to baby cobra or cobra pose. Press down through the tops of your feet. Lift up the kneecaps. Fire your quadriceps. Ground down through the pubic bone. Ground down through your hip bones. Open up space through the collarbone. Squeeze your elbows into the rib cage. Draw your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Press through all of the contact points. Lift the crown of your head up. As you exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale to tabletop. And exhale to child's pose. Take a nice exhalation as you let your hips press back. Maybe your body will rock or sway. Try to think of the rocking motion or swaying motion as a way to self-soothe. You can ground your energy. One more breath here. Begin to stack your shoulders over your wrists. Press yourself up to all fours. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So as you're curling your toes under, lift your hips. Think about pulling your chest towards your thighs. We're gonna bend our knees in our first down dog. And you can actually bend them throughout your practice if your hamstrings are tight. So with bent knees, pull your belly towards your thighs. Do that with the intention of bringing length and opening into your spine. Try to spiral your elbow creases forward to keep an external rotation in the shoulders. Your neck is long. Gaze back at your shins, gaze back at your thighs. The palms are pressed wide. Create a pocket of air under the center of the palm. Try to fan the fingers apart, ground down evenly through all 10 fingerprints. Begin to gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to your hands. Take your big toes together. Bend your knees, bow your head, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, high mountain pose. Exhale, bend your knees, forward folds. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, bend your knees, forward folds. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Push back through both heels. You can keep your legs lifted or take them down to modified plank, yogi's choice. If you keep your legs lifted, keep your hips in line with your torso. Turn your gaze slightly forward, bend your elbows straight back, lower yourself to the belly. Let your body stay straight as you lower down. Inhale to cobra, find your contact points. Open up space to the collarbone. Squeeze your elbows into the rib cage. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to child's pose. Maybe you slide the knees out to the edges of the mat for a wider hip opening, child's pose. Maybe you keep your legs closer together. The arms can reach forward or rest alongside of the torso. Take a few breaths here to help reel your consciousness inward. Maybe you can hear the sound of your breath. Try to let the sound of your breath be an anchor for your minds. With your next breath in, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Press up to all fours, tabletop pose. Step your left foot to your left thumb, low lunge. You can walk your right knee back just a little bit, maybe a few inches, just enough so that you feel an awakening. You feel a stretch through your right quadriceps. How we doing, Renee? Good? Super. Pull back on your left hip crease. As you pull back on your left hip crease, your hips are gonna align to the front of the mat. Maybe you start to walk your hands up towards your left thigh. Let your hips press forward, let them sink low. You take your arms up. As you exhale, fan your hands down, half split. Extend your front leg. Pull your left femur bone into the hip socket. At the same time, send energy out through your heel. Again, this might be a really good time to get your blocks if you have them. As you inhale, glide forward into your low lunge. You can move back and forth between your low lunge and half split, just moving in a way that brings you peace. Fold over the extended leg. Maybe you let your hands walk freely around the mat. Maybe you're exploring your asana practice. Asana is the third limb of the 8 limbs of yoga. We use our asana or posture practice to help us focus our mind, to help us prepare ourselves for meditation. With your next breath in, as you inhale, bend your front knee. Return to your low lunge. Heel toe your right foot to the edge of the mat for lizard pose, and then roll to the outside edge of your right foot. You can open up your chest here. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Let your hips open. You can stay here up, or you can come down onto your forearms. Gonna check in with you guys. Make sure everything is hunky-dory. Hello there, Jennifer. Long time no see. Lori is watching. Hi guys. Hi Terry. Hi James. Cool. Okay guys, start to press up out of your lizard pose. Come back up onto your hands. We're gonna heel toe our left foot to the midline. Heel toe it in. Let your hands frame your left foot, tuck your back toes under, lift up the back leg and drive your right heel to the back of the mat. Use the strength of your core. Step your left foot to meet your right foot in plank. Push back through your heels. So now you have the option. You can lower your legs down to modified plank. You can keep them lifted. You can move from high plank to the belly, or you can take it one more step. You can follow me through chaturanga into up dog. As you inhale, begin to glide forward to the tips of your toes. Think about moving forward and down at the same time. Lower halfway, bend your elbows straight back. As you inhale, roll to the tops of your feet. Press through your hands. Open up your chest. The hips are dropping low. Shoulder blades are squeezing in and down your spine. Curl your toes. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So again, just to reiterate, you can modify your vinyasas. You can modify plank. You can lower to the belly. Try to choose an asana practice that is compassionate for your body today. You can always skip a vinyasa. You can always go right to down dog or right to child's pose. One more breath here. Cultivate your breath. Gaze to the top of your mat. Walk, hop, or float forward. Take the big toes together. Bend your knees, bow your head, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, high mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Pause here, hands to shins or thighs. Press through your heels, lift up your toes, spread your toes apart. Let your body expand out in all 4 directions. So we're grounding through the heels. We're pulling our hamstrings up to the ceiling. The crown of our head is pressing forward. The tailbone is pulling back. Your belly is strong and toned. As you exhale, bend your knees, bow your head, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, high mountain. Exhale, take palms to namaste. Samasti to he. Take a restorative breath through your nostrils. And exhale with a great big sigh through your mouth. Heel toe or hop your feet hips distance. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Press your left shoulder down. Exhale your chin to center. Inhale your left ear to your left shoulder. Roll your head side to side. And if you have the mobility in your neck and shoulders and it feels good for you, take your head around in a nice big circle. Change direction whenever the body calls for it. Come back to center. Release the binds of your hands, grab opposite elbows, bend your knees, forward fold, ragdoll pose. Let the weight of your body shift over your feet, rock and sway side to side. As you're pressing through your heels, lengthen the back of your legs to the ceiling. Try to soften your torso. Allow your torso to spill forward out of your hips. Your shoulders are soft, your neck is long. Try to surrender through the back of the neck so that you begin to feel gravity pulling the crown of your head to the earth. Release the bind of your hands. Let your hands come down to the mat. Ease your body into stillness. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Gorilla Asana. Slide your palms under your feet, step your toes up to your wrists. Press your feet into your hands and imagine that you're sliding your hands out from under your feet. At the same time, try to lengthen your hamstrings to the sky. Notice an opening through your shoulders, your neck, your wrists, the low back, hips, and hamstrings. Take your hands out from underneath your feet. Press your palms into the mat, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Step your feet or hop your feet back to plank pose. If you hop back, I want you to land at the bottom of your chaturanga with soft elbows. Your feet are hips distance. As you exhale, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Long spine. Shoulders are externally rotated by spiraling your elbow creases forward. Hollow out your belly, engage your bandhas. With your next breath in, gaze to the top of your mat, walk, hop, or float forward. Take your big toes together. Take a nice big breath in. Inhale, root to rise, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Find your breath. Maybe you're cultivating ujjayi. Engage your bandhas. Lift your pelvic floor. Pull the navel in and up to your spine. Try to feel a flow of energy starting at the roots. Try to bring it upwards towards the diaphragm and lungs. As you breathe in, use your breath as a vehicle to pull prana from the universe into the body to meet the flow of energy moving up from the root. Try to practice your ujjayi as you exhale. Imagine you're fogging a mirror with your mouth so that as you exhale, there's a constriction happening at the back of the throat. Try to hold the constriction in your throat, breathing in and out through your nostrils. Pull the breath down to meet the flow of energy moving up and allow your breath to begin to sound like the ocean. Ujjayi is a warming, heating breath, and it's a victorious breath. Begin to look forward, walk, hop, or float your feet to the top of the mat. Bend your knees, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to chair pose, Utkatasana. Press through your heels, squeeze your knees and thighs. Tuck your tailbone down. Pull your low ribs in. Try to think of the low rib cage almost like a corset. Try to pull the ribs in so that it supports your waistline, it supports your low back. Cinch it tightly. As you exhale, lift your heels, sweep your arms up. Inhale, chair pose, squeeze your legs. Exhale, lift. Inhale to chair pose. Open your arms to cactus arms. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow, plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Cultivate your breath, guys. Keep your neck long. Hollow out your belly. With your next breath in, step your feet together. Sweep your right leg to the sky. 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee. Rotate your right knee to the ceiling. Stack your right hip on top of your left hip. You can roll your right ankle or spread your toes. Try to press evenly through both hands so that your shoulders stay square. Your belly is hollow. As you inhale, extend your right leg. Dial your right pinky toe down. Step your right foot to your right thumb, warrior 1. Heel to heel alignment with your feet. Pull back on your right hip crease. The right knee is stacked over the right ankle. Track your right knee to the second and third toes on your feet. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Roll your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Exhale, forward fold, humble warrior. Let the crown of your head journey towards the arch of your right foot. Surrender through your neck and shoulders. Press the outside of your right leg into the right shoulder. Hug the shoulder into the leg. Ground through the outside edge of your back foot. As you inhale, send the crown of your head forward. Keep your spine long. Make your journey up. As you come up, sweep your arms to the sky. Open your arms to cactus arms. Let the breath float you forward to one-legged mountain pose. Balance on your right leg. Take your left knee to your heart. Eagle pose. Take your arms in front of you. Cross the right arm over the left. Wrap the arms like vines. Cross your left leg over your right leg. So you can modify here by taking your toes down like a kickstand. As you exhale, set the hips down the back of the studio. As you take your left heel to the back of the studio, try to keep your torso in line to the earth. Your hips are even and on the same plane. You can modify by taking your hands down. With your next breath in, drop the ball of your left foot to the mat. Inhale to crescent lunge pose. Exhale, hinge forward out of your hips, long spine, flat back, palms face up. Inhale to crescent lunge. Take your hands down and let the breath move you through chaturanga. Lower down. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes, lift your hips. Find your breath here. Remember, we can always skip our vinyasas. We can always go to down dog. We can always go to child's pose. With your next breath, gaze to the top of the mat, walk, hop, or float forward. Big toes come together. Bend your knees, bow your head, forward fold. Inhale to high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes, lift your hips, up and back. Reset the spine. Down dog is your chance to set the reset button. So if the breath has gotten away from you, reconnect to your breath. Step your feet together. Take your left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend your left knee, rotate your left knee to the ceiling. Press evenly through both hands so that your shoulders are in line. Maybe you roll your whole left leg. Maybe you're just turning your ankle. Your belly is toned and tight. As you inhale, extend your left leg. Dial your left pinky toe down and step your left foot to your left thumb, warrior one. Try to find your foundation in warrior one. Start with your feet. Build your foundation. Ground into your feet. Try to find the feet beneath you. Track your left knee to the second and third toes on your feet. Pull back on your left hip crease so your hips and shoulders are in line to the front of the mat. Open your arms to cactus arms. Clasp your hands behind your back. Humble warrior. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Exhale, forward fold, humble warrior. Let the crown of your head release to the arch of your left foot. Hug your left shoulder into the left leg and press the leg into the shoulder. Root through the outside edge of your back foot. As you inhale, keep your back flat. Continue your journey up by sending the crown of your head forward. Take your arms up, warrior one. Open your arms to cactus arms. Inhale, let the breath float you forward to one-legged mountain pose. Balance on your left foot. Take your right knee to your heart, eagle pose. Take the arms in front of you. Cross your left arm over your right arm and then wrap your arms. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Squeeze your thighs into each other, pushing your hips forward. Let your spine round. The more you squeeze your shoulders into each other, the more opening you'll feel through your upper back. Try to direct your breath into the opening. As you inhale, unwrap. Take your hands to your heart. Exhale to warrior three. Send your right leg to the back of the studio or room. Drive back through your right heel. Continue to dial your right pinky toe down. The belly is strong. The hips are even. Maybe you modify by taking your hands to the mat and focus on your alignment. With your next breath in, drop the ball of your right foot to the earth. Crescent lunge pose. Lift your torso up. Pull back on your left hip crease. Your left knee is bent. The back leg is straight. Exhale, hinge forward out of your hips. Long spine. Sweep the arms behind you. Take your palms up. Inhale to crescent lunge pose. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Frame your front foot with the hands. Let the breath take you down through your vinyasa. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath here. Spiral your elbow creases forward. Keep your neck long. Tone your belly. Lift your hips as you ground down through your heels. One more breath. With your next breath in, sweep your right leg to the sky. Step your right foot to your right thumb, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Heel to arch alignment. As you come up, just check your hips. Make sure your hips and shoulders are in line to the long edge of the yoga mat. Track your right knee to your right pinky toe. Ground down through the outside edge of the back foot. Reach your arms out into infinity. Turn your front palm to the sky. Lift your heart. Reverse the warrior. Exhale to warrior two pose. Inhale to side angle pose. Right forearm to right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over on a diagonal. Gaze up at the left palm. Let your right arm swing like a pendulum. Use the strength of your core. Take your right arm up by your right bicep. That didn't make sense. Take your right bicep up by your ear, your right ear. Exhale to warrior two. Look forward over your right ring finger. As you gaze forward, try to imagine that you're gazing into your future. Find stability in your asana. Find the earth beneath you. As you inhale, activate your root chakra. With your next breath in, cartwheel your hands down to low lunge. Frame your front foot with your hands. Inhale, step your right foot to meet your left foot in plank. Inhale, roll forward to the tips of your toes. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Remember, it's okay to come down to child's pose if we need to take a break or just catch our breath for a moment. Hi, Melissa. What's up? I hope the boys are good. Okie dokie, guys. Other side now. Take your left leg to the sky. Step your left foot to your left thumb, warrior two. Spin the right heel down as you come up. Relax your shoulders. Reach your arms out long. Imagine the fingertips are being pulled into infinity. Find your left sits bone. That's the front sits bone. Scoop it under and then pull it back towards your back heel. Relax. Turn your left palm to the sky. That's the front palm. And imagine that you're gesturing to the universe, that you're open to receive. What do you need to receive today? Try to let yourself be open to that. As you inhale, lift your heart, reverse your warrior. Ground through your feet as you lift your heart. Remember, the hips and shoulders are facing the long edge of your mat. Exhale to warrior two pose. Inhale to side angle pose. Left forearm to left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over. Root through the outside edge of your right foot. Send a line of energy through the right side of your body. Let the left arm swing. Challenge your core. Challenge your breath. Stay in control of your breath. Take your left arm to the sky. Bring your left biceps by your left ear. Exhale to warrior two. Look forward into the future. Try to imagine now that things have kind of gone back to normal. The dust has settled. Everybody is healthy again. We're going back about our lives. Try to allow a feeling of optimism to arise within you. Try to ground yourself, connecting to the mat, connecting to the earth. Cartwheel your hands down to low lunge. Let your hands frame your left foot. Push back through your right heel. Tone your belly. Inhale, step your left foot to meet your right foot in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes, lift your hips. Step your feet out a little bit wider in this down dog. Take your left hand, grab a hold of your right leg. Pull your chest to your right thigh. Look underneath your right shoulder. Gaze up at the sky. Try to lengthen your hamstrings up to touch the ceiling and ground down through your heels at the same time. Return your left hand to the mat. Take your right hand, grab a hold of your left leg. Pull your chest to your left thigh. Look under your left shoulder. Take your right hand to the mat. Gaze forward, walk, hop, or float your feet. I'm terrible at floating, but I'm gonna try. Bend your knees, forward folds. Inhale to high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, curl your toes. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Find your breath, 5 breaths. One more breath. Gaze to the top of the mat, walk, hop, or float forward. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale to high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come down onto your forearms. Stack your shoulders over your elbows. Step your feet together. Take your right leg to the sky. So really think about getting your hips over your shoulders are over your elbows. As you take your right leg up, you have the option to maybe take a few hops. Maybe you try to find a forearm arm balance here. When you're ready to come down, lower yourself down to child's pose, take a rest. Let your hips press back into your heels, rock or sway your body. Take your palms to prayer mudra. Bend the elbows, let your hands come back to touch your shoulders. Extend your arms, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Press yourself up to all fours. Find your spine, find your alignment, step your knees out hips distance, and then tuck your toes under. Give yourself a little foot massage here. Press into the pads of your toes, stretch out your toes. You can roll the balls of your feet on the mat. Energize your arches. Check in with your tendons and ankles. When you're satisfied, take your knees together. Come down to the forearms. Curl the toes, lift your hips. We're gonna find dolphin pose. Dolphin pose is just like down dog, but it's on our forearms. So I want you to walk your toes in a few inches. Think about stacking your hips over your shoulders. Shoulders are over the elbows. The more your hips are stacked over the shoulders, the easier it's gonna be for you to float your legs up. All right, so forearms are parallel to each other. Take your left leg to the sky. You might take a few hops on your right foot. Just a few little hops. Try to float yourself up. Use your core strength. And when you're ready to come down to child's pose. Take your rest. Just a breath or two here. Nice job, guys. Come up to all fours. Puppy pose. You can take your legs hips distance. Slide your arms forward. Lift your tailbone up and back. Press down through wide palms. Try to imagine there's a string tied around your heart, and that string is going to pull your heart straight down. So you're melting your heart down. Notice a big stretch through your shoulder girdle. Your neck is long. The crown of your head is pressing forward. Your hips are lifting up and back. Let the heart become really heavy. Your heart will hover a few inches above the earth, and that's okay. It doesn't have to come all the way down. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Press yourself up to all fours. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Push back through your left heel. Energize the back of your left leg, and then float your left leg up. So you guys might not be able to see my left foot right now, but as you push back through your left heel, you're pushing back through the heel, you're flexing your foot. So pull your toes to your shin. Dial your left pinky toe down. Sunbird pose. Reach your right arm forward. Rotate your right thumb to the sky so that you're externally rotating your shoulder. As you exhale, squeeze your knee and elbow together. Inhale, lengthen your limbs. Send energy out through your foot and fingertips. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale. As you inhale, just try to hold the balance. Pull the low ribs in, stay with your balance. Lift up your bandhas. Take your left knee down. Circle your right arm to the sky. Gaze up at your right hand, and then exhale, thread the needle. Thread the right arm through the window of your left. Let your right shoulder and right temple come down to the mat. Your hips are neutral. The hips are just gonna lift up and back in space. I'm gonna flip around because we have an option here. You can stay here in your twist, just letting your hips stay neutral, or you can take your left arm to the sky, or you can let it drape behind you. Try to roll your left shoulder back so you're opening up the shoulder. So the other option is to come into the balancing pose. To get your balancing pose set up, you want to bring your palms together in prayer. Walk your left leg to the back of the mat. And then ground down through your right side, take your left leg up. It's a little bit tricky, but it's kind of fun to challenge yourself. Pull your belly into your spine. If you're in the balance, start to make your way out of it. Rotate yourself back to center. As you inhale, press up to all fours and take your right arm back up to the sky. Look up, stretch. Nice job. Come back down, take your knees together, hero. You can put a block under your seat. You can maybe put a pillow under your seat. Take a nice big breath in. And exhale, take your hands to the heart. Try to close your eyes for a moment. Relax your shoulders. Lift your heart into the knuckles of your thumbs. If you'd like to dedicate your practice to anyone, I'd like to offer this space for you to think of that person now. Try to let your heart open to them. Try to see them in your mind. Surround them with light and with love. Take your knuckles to your third eye. Press the knuckles and you can roll your knuckles in a circle so you're massaging your third eye. Massaging your forehead. Now let your head rest in your hands. Just cup your hands over your eyes. Give yourself a gentle reminder that it's okay to rest. When you're ready here, you can come forward again to tabletop pose. This time we're going to step our right foot to the back of the mat. So push back through your right heel, lift up your right kneecap, tone your belly, and then float your right leg up. Dial the right pinky toe down, pull your low ribs in like a corset, and then float the left arm. Rotate your left thumb to the sky. As you exhale, squeeze your knee and elbow, round your back, and inhale, lengthen your limbs. Squeeze, open. Move at a pace that feels good for your breath and for your body. Let's do one more. Try to hold this one here, just balancing on two limbs, keeping your core active. Your gaze is down. Take just the right knee to the mat. Circle your left arm to the sky, look up, and then thread the needle. Thread your left arm through the window of the right arm and let your left shoulder and left temple come down. Your hips are neutral, lifting up and back. Press through your right palm. Try to spiral your heart to the sky. You can just stay here and rest too if that feels good. Try to keep your hips neutral, so just your rib cage is spiraling. You can take your right arm to the sky or roll the right shoulder back, let the right arm drape behind you. And then the next step would be to set yourself up for the balancing pose. This time we're gonna walk our right leg to the back of the mat. We're gonna ground down through our left side. It's a challenging, tricky posture, but it can be fun. So let's come down out of our balance if we're there. We're gonna bring ourselves back up to all fours. As you come up, take your left arm, sweep it to the sky, look up, and take your left hand down. Come down to your forearms. Walk your legs to the back of the mat so that you're lowering yourself down onto the belly. Sphinx pose. Press down through the tops of your feet, lift up your kneecaps, ground down through your pubic bone and hip bones, roll your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Notice an opening through your collarbone. Try to imagine that you're dragging your forearms back to grace the rib cage, and at the same time you're moving your heart forward and up through the gateway of your shoulders. As you press into the earth, try to lift up through the crown. Let your forehead come to rest on top of your arms. Stack your arms on top of each other. Bend your knees. Let your legs move like windshield wipers. just the top of your left foot to the mat. Extend your left arm forward. Reach back with your right hands, grab a hold of the inside edge of your right foot. Try to squeeze your knee and thigh together. Try to create almost like a magnetic field between the thighs. Start to ground down through the front of your hip bones, and then using the strength of your low back, see if you can float the limbs and then lift up your chest and lift up your head. Maybe you take a mudra with your left hand, bringing your first finger and thumb together. As you exhale, lower yourself down. Stack your hands, bend your knees, let your legs move freely. And set yourself up on the other side. Take the top of your right foot to the mat. Press it down so you feel a stretch through the shin. Extend the right arm. Reach back with your left hand. And with an inhalation, try to lift your body up using the strength of your core. Squeeze the knees together. Lower yourself down. Take your arms out like a T. Bend your left knee. Step your left foot to the earth behind you so that you're rolling over onto your right shoulder. Press into your left hand for leverage to help you journey over onto the right side. And if you feel like you can go further, bend your right knee and step your right foot to the earth. Notice the sensations of your breath. Try to use your breath to help you open up space through your upper back. Carefully roll over onto your belly. Again, take your arms out long and wide like a T. Bend your right knee. Step your right foot to the earth behind you. Roll over onto your left shoulder. You can press into your right hand for leverage to help you journey over onto your left side. You can close your eyes. As you close your eyes, try to go within yourself. Let the sensations you feel anchor your mind. Maybe you're bending your left knee and stepping the left foot to the earth, just going a little deeper into the stretch. Let your legs collapse to the left, roll onto your belly, and then using the strength of your core, just roll yourself right over onto your back. Take your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, give yourself a nice big hug. You can massage your back on the earth. When you're ready, take your legs up to the sky, point and flex your feet, roll your ankles. Grab a hold of the hamstrings. As you pull your hamstrings, draw your legs back towards you, and as you're pulling your legs back, press down through the tailbone. Let the arms rest alongside of your body. Point your toes to the sky. Let your legs move right to left, left to right. Use the strength of your core to keep your low back anchored into the earth. Let your legs progressively move further and further away. And when you're ready, begin to trace the shape of a circle with your toes on the ceiling. Let your circle gradually get bigger and bigger. Challenge your core. Try to keep your low back anchored to the earth. Ease your body into stillness, taking your legs to the sky. Let your legs fan out into a wide straddle. Take your hands to the insides of your legs. Just encourage your legs to open a little bit more deeply. Happy baby pose. Bend your knees, reach your hands up, grab the inside or outside of your feet. You can rock side to side. Close your eyes to better connect with what you're feeling. Maybe you're playing with your legs. You're bending one knee and extending your opposite leg. You can massage your feet. Maybe massage your legs or ankles. When you're ready, draw your legs together. Press your heels to the sky, draw your toes to the shins. As you exhale, very slowly lower your legs down. Pull your belly into your spine and grip your low back into the earth as your legs slowly journey to the earth. As your heels touch down, step your feet hips distance, stacking your knees over your heels, and inhale to bridge pose, lifting your hips to the sky. Your knees are stacked over the ankles. Your knees are tracking to the second and third toes on your feet. As you press through your heels, lift your hips up. Once you lift up through your hips, tuck your shoulder blades in and down your spine and lift up through your heart. Notice your front body opening. As you exhale, slowly lower your hips down. Let the soles of your feet come together and your knees release open into the shape of a butterfly. Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Try to slide your heels up towards your seat as close as you can. You might use blocks to support your legs. You can let your palms rest heavily over your low belly. Let your head turn side to side a few times. Try to check in with your neck and shoulders as your head turns. Notice the weight of your hands over the low belly. And as you're pressing into the low belly, try to send grounding and reassuring energy into yourself. Connect to your breath. Take a scan of your body. If you're craving a final stretch or a final pose, use the next 5 breaths to take that posture now. And after the 5 breaths, you can find your way into your Shavasana pose. You can find your final resting posture. Hi Mark, hi Martha, hi Allison, hi PJ. It's just like a regular class, right? So you guys finish up your final pose now. Take another breath or two, and when you're ready, just get yourself settled in to your final resting posture. If you're new to the practice, we end our classes with a few minutes of quiet rest time. So try to find a posture that your body feels comfortable resting in. And just allow your eyes to close. Let your gaze soften. And as you find your final pose, continue to scan through your body. Let yourself relax onto the yoga mat. Notice if there's any muscles that are still tense or tight. Try to soften as much as you can. Allow your inside of your body to open. Allow the inside of your body to soften. Allow your heart to open. Allow your mind to open. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, try to release anything that no longer serves you. And when you're ready, begin your Shavasana. Begin to make small movements by wiggling your fingers and toes. Make circles with your wrists and ankles. Roll onto your side and rest. Allowing your head to hang and letting your head come up last. Use your hands and guide yourself to a seated posture. Take your hands to your heart. Bow your head to your heart. Bow your heads to each other. The light in me honors light in you. Namaste. Thanks, Renee. Thank you guys at home. So we'll post this on our Facebook group. So if you want to revisit this class in the future, you can revisit this class. We're going to be posting one more class tonight. The next class is going to be, hey Robin, hi. Aw. And Mark is watching. It's like the whole community is here. That's so nice. So I hope this is over soon. Anyway, I know we all do. But we're gonna post one more class in a little bit. It's gonna be the yoga for inner peace. So totally different vibe, way more gentle, less flowy, more meditative-y, mindful-y. Okie dokie. Thanks, guys. See you in a little bit for the next class. Have a good night.